Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Passing the Positive number 6. Today we got special guest Jason Kingery, Billy Goat Gruff. Look at him, full beard going on. It's that wintertime. Yeah, I can't do it in baby face. I try to fake it sometimes, but
You can.
It just doesn't work. But those of you that don't know Jason Kingery, I can't say enough about you. He is a phenomenal man, father, leader, does great things within his church, within his company. I have got to know him over the last 3 years, and I am so thankful that I've had the opportunity to do that. Having him in my life has been a great positive impact, and those are the type of people we look for. So thank you so much for everything you've done. I appreciate it. So the people that don't know you, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Yeah.
How many 17 kids you got?
I've got 16.
Oh, my bad.
16.
Yeah. Okay.
Get the numbers right. No, I have 5 children. That keeps me super busy. Been married going on 18 years to my wonderful wife, Jackie, who is way smarter and better looking than me. And
True.
Yeah, my kids are 14, 12, 9, 5, and 3, and I don't need an alarm clock because I get woken up every day by one of them. So that's how I start my motivation right there. But no, I'm blessed to know this guy too. Became a great friend through business. We started doing some business first, and then just developed a great relationship. Yeah. So I'm thrilled to be here, buddy.
Absolutely. Tell me a little about what you do for your living and that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I think one thing that if we're making this a good video that would work is the word freedom. That's what I do. I had a career straight out of college in professional sports.
Yep.
Worked for the Nuggets and the Avalanche and was career tracking, wearing the suit and tie every day. And then I realized, I don't own my life. My life is being owned by somebody else. And so the entrepreneurial side kicked in, and I said, I got to do something different. So I set out on this journey to be my own boss, and I failed miserably. I bought a couple franchises, and they all tanked. And I lost a lot of money. And then a friend of mine said, hey, what do you think about real estate? And I said, that sounds good. I've always had an interest in real estate. That was 2006. So 2 years into real estate, I thought I was pretty good. And then 2008 came, and if you're not familiar with that was the recession.
Yeah.
It was a bad time. It was
rough go right there.
So, right then and there, I had a major reality check on what being an entrepreneur is, what freedom is, and what managing your life is, really. Because at that point, everything kind of came to a screeching halt. Average deal size was $250,000, went to about $60,000.
Wow. Yeah.
I had to try and quadruple what I did, and basically my finances tanked. My wife and I looked at each other and had a lot of questions. We realized we didn't have a good budget, so life was difficult. Just had started having kids and had a lot of reckoning to do. And thankfully, since that point, the trajectory has been upward. But a lot of different decisions have been made in that process.
Yeah. What I love about that, though, is Jason just showed you guys, hey, man, I started out and tried many different things. I fell on my face more than once. And he's here today because he's done amazing things to recapture his life and his freedom to do things that he wants to do within his life, to be able to be around his kids and that type of stuff. So great job on doing that. That's
buddy.
Awesome. Through that, I mean, it's hard when you get knocked down numerous
really
amount
tough.
of times, right? And you have all these different life changes. You're having kids during this time. What was it that kind of got you motivated to get back up every day and go after what your dreams are?
Yeah, great question, buddy. One, it was hard. There was a time where I kind of looked up at the Almighty and said, really? This is my lot in life?
Yeah.
And then I was pretty much told, hey, be a man. And so there's another word that kind of comes to mind, and it's grind. You got to get up and just do the tough stuff every single day.
Right.
There was no get-rich-quick scheme for me. I had to learn how to be better with my money. I had to learn how to save. I had to go seek out mentors in my life who gave me honest advice, not just advice that I wanted to hear, but advice that made me think.
Yeah.
And so I started to compile all of that. It was very humbling, and I had to essentially yield to something that was greater than me. And I'm a big believer in, we've got to submit to something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we can self-help ourselves into thinking we're great, but really we're fallible. We're capable of making mistakes and messing up every day. And so we got to be honest with our wives, our kids, our business partnerships. So I think it's just making hard decisions, but small decisions every day, day after day. And then pretty soon you start to build a system and you see a different type of character evolve in your life. And before you know it, great things start to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Through those times, right? I mean, you've got to create kind of habits and those types of things. When you started kind of getting back to feeling success that you had in your early years and that stuff, were there, those daily, weekly, monthly, even maybe just morning trends or places you put in place to help you kind of navigate and, get through your day?
Well, my first one was to call you and just say, what are you doing
That's
today?
what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Josh, I just want to do what you're doing. What are you doing today?
That's right. Playing basketball.
Playing basketball. Yeah. It's some of the cliche stuff we hear, and I don't like cliche, but I had to get my mind right.
Yep.
I had to get my body right, and I had to get relationships right. So I don't know if you've ever read a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read it in college, and I kind of went back to some of that. Bible is my favorite book. That's where I go to for my wisdom and guidance. But I had to go tell some people I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to go repay some debts. I had to go to the gym. I was a P90Xer. I ordered it and I had to do it. And I told myself, don't quit. Because I felt like, there's a lot of things that aren't working for me. The economy was horrible. Nobody had a job, or people were having a rough time getting a job. Pay was down. So I just had to see positive improvements in my life every day.
Yep.
So that was one of them. Being a better dad, being intentional. One day I came home and I think I was kind of grumpy to my wife and kids, and then I got a call. And all of a sudden I was like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I can help you. And I got off that phone call, and I think my wife looked at me with just like that look like, really? And I did some reckoning and some asking of forgiveness. And I told myself, I am going to treat my family as if they're my best clients. Yeah. So when I come home, each and every day, they're my A+ clients first and foremost. If I can't give that to them, then why am I trying so hard to give it to other people who I may not know in 5 years?
Right.
So it was taking care of my family, taking care of my body, taking care of business, and then taking care of myself spiritually and doing the things to keep me fed and right.
No, I love that, man. I love the fact that you said be intentional, right? Get after, be intentional about the things that you do. Be intentional about going to the gym every day. Be intentional about your family being number one in your life, right?
Yeah.
Get after those things. I mean, those are things that I think other people can relate to and kind of implement into their lives.
Yeah.
Kind of, better them if they're not there already. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think those are huge.
And life's tough, right?
Life is tough.
Life's tough. I mean, I'm sitting here making this video. I don't have all the answers. I'm a dad. I mess up every day with one of my kids. I'm a husband who messes up at some point. I'm trying my best. In business, I don't have all the answers yet. Mentors, I'm seeking them out all the time. Green and growing. That's where I'm trying to live.
I love that.
Green and growing.
Love that.
I don't have the answers.
I love that you're constantly seeking for them, though, right? That's the key, is that we're constantly trying to grow within our lives.
Yeah.
And you do that intentionally, and you make sure that you're making a positive impact every day on that.
Yeah.
I love that. So,
thanks, buddy.
We've all gone through those pivotal moments in our lives, right? Maybe what was one of yours that kind of helped guide you into where you're at today?
Yeah, I was thinking about that question. There's a couple of them. Obviously, 2008, the recession hits and life changes significantly. That was one of them. The birth of my first son, that was a pivotal moment. I had to learn how to well, anytime you have a kid, you immediately recognize your life is no longer yours. It's theirs. The B word, the bad one, bankruptcy. That was probably, and I'll say it, not embarrassed, that was tough.
Yeah.
I had felt, after that happened, I felt like I failed myself, my wife, my family, everybody who knew me, because I had projected this exterior of I'm succeeding, and then at the end of the day, I had to look at myself and everything that I didn't own, and say I'm insolvent and I've got to start over.
Yeah.
And that really taught me to just be more disciplined.
No, absolutely.
And be honest with myself. I had to be honest with myself. I had to be honest with what I was doing. It was difficult. But the rebuilding was great. Failure is a great teacher.
Yeah. No, I love that. The rebuilding from the failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that last week, Reggie Rivers mentioned something about, your failures, create your success, right?
Yeah.
You helped your failure, your failures helped get you to where you were, which is huge,
Yeah.
right? Because you've come back and you've built a very strong business,
Yeah.
and you've done great things within your life, even outside of the business world. So
Yeah. Thank
great
you,
job
buddy.
on that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Failure has been by far my greatest teacher.
Yeah.
If we'll truly look at why we failed at something, even on a day-to-day basis, why didn't that work, versus telling ourselves, oh, I think that works, and we just keep doing something repeatedly with minimal results,
Right.
we're going to learn a lot more.
No, I love
Yeah.
that. You've kind of talked about seeking out wisdom, seeking out people.
Mm-hmm.
We've all kind of had those mentors within our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Who was maybe one of your main mentors and something that they gave to you that still sticks with you today?
Yeah, this is a funny story. When I was about 15, a guy in my church, big guy, Mike Ritz, played offensive line for Oklahoma State football.
It's a big boy right there.
He was a big boy. I was a little afraid of him. He owned a ranch up in Evergreen. It was about a 2,000-acre horse boarding ranch, and he could tell I was going through a tough time. And he just said, hey, come up here. And I thought it was going to be all fun and games, but he said, hey, come into this shop that I have. And it's about a, 1,000, 2,000 square foot shop. And he handed me a broom and said, hey, I want you to sweep this, clean the shop. So I did, I thought. And he came back and he said, did you sweep yet? And I said, yeah. And he goes, it doesn't look like that. And long story made short, I had to sweep every single corner. I had to move every single thing that was in that area. And then he took me over to the barn, and I was petrified of horses, and I had to clean out the barns. Months later, I'm baling hay. Mike gave me a work ethic that I think carried with me as a person.
Yeah.
Now this is excluding family. My parents are incredible, and they did a ton for me. But Mike instilled something in me that when the going got tough and I felt like my teeth were kicked out and I'm laying, face first on the ground, I was able to get up and just go, I got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mike's a great guy.
Oh, I think that's awesome. The thing I love about that is he didn't let you half-ass it, right? He said, no, you didn't finish that, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think you did, but let me show you really what needs to get done here.
Yeah.
And then you went and actually finished the job, right? So he taught you, hey, not only am I going to make you work hard, but I'm going to make you actually do the job right and finish it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two great lessons right there. That's awesome, man. So with all that being said, everything we've kind of talked about, what's one best practice that maybe you've implemented in your life that you can share with people that we might be able to put in ours and help us grow?
Yeah, starting out your day with a donut is definitely...
That's what I'm talking about. Fat kid moment right there. Yes.
I'm joking. I'm half serious, but I'm joking. Honestly, Josh, if my mind isn't right, how do I expect the rest of the day to be right?
Yeah.
I think taking 15 minutes in the morning to get up and just get some time to examine your heart, however you do that. My faith in Jesus is strong. I do that. I take a little time just to get with him, pray for my day, ask for wisdom. That may sound religious, cliche, but it works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's what I do. It's what keeps me balanced. It's what keeps me focused. It reminds me what's most important in my life. And listen, we battle a ton of negativity. If you want to feel negative, get up and start checking the news stories on your phone or Twitter. It's
Right.
like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
absolutely.
you want your head to explode. So I've got to put something into me, pour something in that'll hopefully allow something, positive to come out. So that's what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the whole key to passing the positive, right?
Yeah.
Every day, how can we bring that within our lives that we can share that with others to help maybe just better their day?
Yeah.
Give them something better to do that they didn't do the day before. Right?
Absolutely.
So, no, I love that. Thank you so much, man, for coming together with me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, brother.
I hope
Love
you guys
this
all
man.
got something.
Good man.
Jason obviously has incredible insight, great positive insight. I apologize for the lighting as we were doing this. Sun kept going down, things kept going, but you don't need to see me anyways. It's all about Billy Goat Gruff over here. So thank you so much. I hope you guys got stuff out of this. Plug in. That's passing the positive number 6. We got number 7 coming up next week, and we'll continue to go from there. So appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Go pass the positive. Talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas.
See ya. Merry Christmas.